Hey guys, Shane McMurray from The Wedding Report. In this episode, I interviewed Justin, who is a videographer and owner of One Love Productions, located in High Point, North Carolina. Check it out. Justin, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it. Tell me about your business. Tell me what city you're in, your website address, your Instagram, any other stuff you want to share with me. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm Justin Thompson with One Love Productions. Our website address is www.nc1love.com. We're located in the Piedmont Triad area of North Carolina, but we service North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and Georgia.
Nice.
Our Instagram is We Are the Number One Video.
Nice.
Sorry, We Are the Number One Love Video.
Yeah.
And
nice.
we started in 2013.
Okay.
Husband and wife team, and then since then we've actually been able to recruit additional filmmakers and, expand our business and expand our territory.
Yeah, because, you're covering a couple states, right? So I got to imagine that's pretty difficult for you sometimes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, good. So tell me a little bit about the process of how do most couples find you right now today? Is it referrals? Is it online, through marketing, that sort of thing? And then tell me what the process is once they connect with you.
So couples find us a number of ways. Most of our inquiries come from referrals, and that's referrals from past clients. That probably equates to about 50 to 60% of the business. And once they find us, they go onto our website and submit a form, and usually we contact them back within. We try to do it within an hour, but sometimes that's just not feasible. So at least within 24 hours, they'll hear back from us regarding their day, letting them know if we're available or if we're not available. We also let them know like our starting price point. But then we try to get them onto a call so that we can learn more about their day, just so we can decide which package would best fit their needs.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Do you feel like are you guys doing texting as well? Like people text you for connection or other means besides just phone emails?
Mm-hmm. So if let's say we haven't heard back from someone that we responded to, our form requires a telephone number. So if we haven't heard back within a day after sending out an email, we usually text and just say, "Hey, are you available for a call? We'd love to chat about your wedding day and see if we're a good fit." And that has actually helped convert additional clients, just because sometimes the email goes into spam or junk, or they just don't check their email as frequent as they check their phone.
Yeah, I find that to be the case as well. I was just curious, like, I know that's really kind of the way people like to communicate today. I have a 25-year-old daughter, and I can't talk to her on the phone most of the time, but I can text her, and she'll reply pretty quickly. So
texting is really where it's at. That's definitely a way to capture, a different audience. And I guess, most couples getting married are between the ages of probably 22 to maybe 35. The average age. And
that's about the core age. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So most of them have their phone. I feel naked if I leave out without having my phone. Definitely turn around and pick up and get it. So that's where it's at.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the generation that's getting married in the core age right now. They haven't known life really without a phone or the internet or any of that stuff. So that's, to me, that seems like the most obvious choice for communication.
That's true.
So what happens after they connect with you and say, "Hey, yeah, let's talk"? Do you guys do video meetings, or do you do like come in and meet in person? I guess it's a little harder if they're a little remote, but how does that work?
It's a little different. It definitely depends on the couple. Some just rather talk on the phone. We definitely try to get more Zoom meetings where we can, get face to face. And then if we have the ability to have them come into the office, we would definitely love for them to come into the office and let's sit down and learn more about them. And that also lets them get a chance to see our personality. We can see their personality just to see if we'll mesh well.
Yeah, because that's really the key thing, right? Do you guys connect personality wise? Because you're going to be spending a lot of time with them.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So let's say they book with you. What's the process after that look like?
So after booking, they're going to get a questionnaire. It's going to have about 40 to 50 questions detailing their day. We connect with them about 3 months out from their day, and then we connect again 1 month out from their day, just to make sure everything on the timeline looks well. They don't have any additional questions for us. If we have any additional questions for them, and then 1 week before their day, we're meeting again. No, not meeting, but we're having a phone conversation
Yeah.
just to make sure everything is still in line. See if there have been any changes to the timeline. But we definitely let them know. We find out their expectations pretty early in the beginning, and then we also let them know our expectations pretty early in the beginning. That way, throughout the process, it's going to be a smooth ride.
Yeah. So tell me about the day. Like, what's your prep like? What's all the? I mean, yeah, I'm sure that's like chaotic a little bit, right?
It is. It is. So the day of, we arrive. We have a time. We always ask couples to allow us to arrive at least 1 hour prior to getting to the dress, and that's minimal.
Mhm.
But we arrive at least 1 hour before getting to the dress. That's whenever our shooting actually starts. But we arrive probably about 2 hours before that time, just so we can make sure all the equipment and gear is set up,
Yeah.
ready to roll. We always bring 2 sets of camera gear. Well, most weddings we have a 4 camera setup. We always bring at least 6 cameras, just because sometimes with technology you never know.
Yep.
Something may crap out, and we don't want that to really impact the couple's day. But we make sure everything's set up and ready to roll on their wedding day about 2 hours before.
Mhm.
And for wedding days, we're typically there from the time they get into their dress until the exit, based upon like the package and everything that they select.
Sure.
And that can be anywhere from 8 hours to 12 hours, just depending on
Long day.
the schedule of the day. Yes.
Yeah. So you got 4 cameras that you set up like stationary kind of deal, and then you have your own personal gear where you're probably walking around doing stuff, or is it mostly just the stationary gear?
So we have more of a cinematic touch. So we have gimbals, sliders. Gimbals are like they hold the camera to make sure as you move that
Yeah.
footage is going to be steady. It's not going to be shaky or jittery footage. Um, but we have two man cameras typically, and then the other two are pretty much getting like wide shots of what's going on, while the
Gotcha.
camera that we have handheld or on the gimbal, we're getting like more close up and more personal shots.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's, I mean, how much staff do you have to manage that whole thing at an event?
Usually we're able to handle it with two.
That's
Um,
not bad.
we can, sometimes it would be ideal if we had a third person. Let's say if like for lighting, to help with lighting, as we're shooting, I'll just use this as an example. If there's like a really, really dark church, sometimes right now I think a lot of couples are going for like the candlelit ceremonies and things of that sort.
Yeah.
So as the bride is walking down the aisle, maybe have a light person over on the side, um, having like a spotlight actually on the bride as she's walking down the aisle. That way,
Gotcha.
that'll be lit very well. She'll be lit very well. But for the most part, we're able to, handle everything with two people.
Do you guys go and set up like the lighting as well in the event? And then does the photographer kind of, kind of like, oh yeah, hey, thanks for setting up all the lighting for me. And I've got, you know,
Yes, photographers love our lighting as we set it up. We have, well, I won't speak of the brand, but we have like these lights that we can either go from a flood setting um, to a spotlight setting, and we can control it from our phone,
oh,
um,
perfect.
which is very helpful. So once we have it up in the air, we don't have to go back and pull it down and change the settings of it. So
Yeah, that's
photographers love that.
yeah, that's pretty awesome. Now, do you guys usually work like because I got to imagine video is becoming more popular as I mean, you got TikTok, you got Instagram, you got YouTube. I mean, video is just becoming the thing, right?
It is.
Which is one of the reasons why I'm doing video interviews, by the way. So, but I got to imagine that. Do you see like couples wanting video and photography together as a package? Or are you working with other photographers and they go, hey, you guys need to hire these guys to do video, or do you see like a combination of the whole thing together?
Yeah, so we actually got um, we get inquiries all the time asking if we do photo and video. And we have working relationships with a lot of photographers in the area. that we're usually their number one referral once the couple comes to them.
Yeah.
We actually had just, I want to say last night or the night before, we had an inquiry from a photographer said, are we available? Do we travel to DC? So a lot of couples want it, combined if they can get it combined. Or
Yeah.
if they know the photographer and videographer work well together.
Yeah. I got to imagine that's a little more efficient, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It should be for the most part, yes. And then especially if you have like a crew that worked well together,
Yeah.
that their overall goal is to capture, your day and not really worry about creating like a Hollywood production. They're there to, capture your day and, make it memorable for you.
Yeah. So do you have a background in film? How'd you get into this thing?
It's funny I got it. So I actually have a biology degree, and I purchased a camera back in 2012 and started shooting or filming stuff for my church. And all of a sudden, we got an inquiry saying, "Hey, do you do weddings?" And at first I'm like, "No, I don't do weddings," just because I don't want that her day to be messed up. And like, it's all blamed on me because I had
Yeah.
no idea what I was doing. But I actually just, we eventually came around and said, yes, we'll do it. Purchase some additional gear just to make sure we had everything that we thought we needed at that time.
You're right.
But even since then, we've grown and evolved and, got rid of some of the things that were originally, exactly. Got rid of some of the things that we originally got. I look back at the first wedding I did and just realized I was like, wow, they love that video, but I hate it.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah. 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 I go, why did I write that code? What was I thinking? That's ridiculous, right?
But it's almost like I really jumped into it. I knew I wanted to start something that dealt with media. Originally, when I first started One Love Productions, we were offering everything. If you name it, we offered it. And the plan was to partner with service providers that actually did it. So like DJ, we offered DJ service and partnering with a DJ that could handle an event. Photography. I actually took a stab at photography, but then I learned that that wasn't for me. And it's funny because some people say, well, you do get really good video. Why don't you take pictures? It's a total different skill set.
It is. Yeah, that's what I hear from a lot of photographers and even videographers. They're like, man, it's just completely different realm. And I can see that. You're trying to tell a story with video versus just taking a still photo. Yeah, it's quite different.
So I learned to stay in my lane with video, and I've been able to. I find it very successful, and just really being able to tell stories and capture a couple's day.
Yeah.
Over time, I have taken like additional courses. I'm not sure if you're familiar with like Pin Weddings.
No.
Okay, I've taken their course, and I actually went to a retreat with them where they held like a wedding filmmaking workshop.
Nice.
Ray Roman, I'm not sure if you've heard of him.
That name sounds familiar. Yeah.
He's a huge, he does like a lot of celebrity weddings and celebrity or like high profile.
Yeah.
And I went to a training course with him down in Atlanta. So, over time, just learning what works for you, and then also just seeking additional education so that I could make myself better or make my the skill set better.
Learn your craft, right? I mean,
exactly.
That's key. Yeah.
So it's sharpening that blade.
Yeah, exactly. So after the wedding, what kind of work goes into what you do? I mean, like how many hours are you putting in post-production? What do you deliver to them?
It really depends on deliverables. But at minimum, I'll say, usually we have a minimum of 200 gigs from a wedding, from all cameras and all audio sources. And that usually, we cull through it just to see what we have, and just start profiling or creating like a storyline for their day. And once we get that, then, we start creating a highlight or a trailer or a full video. Editing can take, usually it's somewhere between 30 and 50 hours for the entire collection to be delivered. For like the minute and a half video, sometimes that can take up to about between 5 and 8 hours to produce. The 5-minute videos, those can typically take about from anywhere from 8 to 16 hours to produce. And then the longer version, like the 45-minute edits, those can usually take a few days.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, right? Like, so just to deliver 5 minutes of video, you got 8 hours of editing into this thing just to kind of get all the audio synced up. And I mean, it's amazing, the work and time that goes into it. Yeah, that's awesome.
And on wedding days, we mic the officiant, we mic the groom. At times we mic the bride, but a lot of times they don't have like anywhere that you can hide the
Yeah.
the mic pack. But their audio is captured usually with the groom's mic. So.
Yeah, it's a yeah. I gotta imagine it's a challenge with the dress stuff. The tux and suit and whatever is probably a little easier, right?
Very yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you end up with a bunch of so you've got all this audio data, you've got all this video data, and separate little things you got to pull together, right? I mean,
yep, syncing it together. And luckily, like the editing software nowadays, like Adobe Premiere and Final Cut Pro, it's intuitive, so it's able to sync it together, and that helps tremendously because it used to be looking at it and then listening to it and then trying to read lips and then just kind of like sliding it little by little until you get it.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff right there, man. Yeah, thank goodness technology's come advanced enough so we can make things a little bit easier, right?
Yes, very thankful for
it. Yeah. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the business side. Tell me what's working well for you right now in business.
What's working well? I would say our referral program that we have, that works really, really good.
Let's talk about that a little bit. What do you mean, like referral program?
Okay, so whenever previous couples refer us, we actually send them a gift card for a referral, and that works really well. It provides more of an incentive, I guess, for people to refer us.
Yeah.
And after they also had like an amazing experience, and that just gives more clout, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
Want to refer us.
And that's just you saying thanks. Hey, thanks for referring someone. Hey, let me give you this,
Exactly. And half the times, a lot of times they don't know about like a referral, or they're not expecting that they're going to get, a gift card or anything for a referral, but just as a thank you, we definitely send something out to them. So
that's great.
We also do it for vendors also whenever they refer us. So
that's great. That's good. No, I don't, probably people don't think too much about that, that part of it, right?
It's just a quick and easy and nice way to say thank you. So most people, I guess, don't expect like anything in return whenever they're doing referrals, but I feel like it definitely, it just keeps you front of mind all the time, in my opinion.
Agreed. What else is working well for you?
Editing works well. From a business standpoint, though, what else is working well? Marketing would, I guess, if we could do more marketing. Well, I'm sorry, that's not working well, but
it's okay. I got you.
Okay.
So maybe let's talk a little bit about then what your biggest challenges are.
Okay. Today. Biggest challenges would be just, I guess, marketing, and we've attempted to do like Facebook ads and things of that sort, but I guess just really dialing into that code and finding out what the parameters should be whenever you're setting those. Setting those Facebook ads and things. Sometimes we get inquiries from Facebook, but a lot of times whenever we put the ads out, it seems like they're like fake people. Cause you go in and look at their profile. I'm like, this person like doesn't even have any additional photos or anything.
Yeah.
But so I think that could definitely be better in our business.
Yeah, that's a challenge, right? For online stuff. I feel like I hear that from a lot of people. Like they post out an ad and they get, they suck up your $100, $200, $500 like that. And half of the stuff that hits your ads are either robots or some other something else, right? That's not real people. And so that sucks for the small business person because, resources are tight and you need to watch your resources. And, you just spent $500 on an ad that you got, 75% of it was robots or fake. I hear that a lot. That sucks about this part of the business. But what other challenges would you say you see what challenges would you say you see in the industry in general?
In the industry, I would say just pricing. Pricing has been a huge challenge. I spoke with someone last week, and they were just telling me like what their rates was, and I was like, man, you need to like raise your rates, because as a whole, it makes the industry look a little bad, and then it makes couples come to think, okay, I got to pay us this amount, and why can't I just pay this amount, and this company is charging this amount.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess pricing, if we could have like an overall, I don't know, I was thinking like maybe an association of wedding videographers or something like that, where we have like like with the accountants, like they have like in most states they have like a certain fee structure that they have to kind of respond to, and like they can't like underbid or undercut certain things because they have like those parameters. So I guess if there was something in that sort, because let's say we have a package that's $2,500, and then you have somebody that's offering the same thing and they're charging $1,200. Of course, most people will go with that $1,200 if they don't really see a difference between what this person was offering and what we're offering.
Yeah.
I guess just and really just showing the value of why we're this price and as opposed to this price.
Yeah, that is the challenge, I think, in the industry in general. I think people are just price sensitive all around. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, they're just price sensitive. Unfortunately, we've kind of done it to ourselves. I don't know, how many ads do you get like to have, 40% off this, 30% off this, or,
With the holiday weekend, I've gotten tons of text messages from Joseph Bank Express saying like, hey, use this like 40% off for the entire weekend. And I'm like, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Justin, in this morning, I actually took snapshots of this because I was going to put a post out about it, but you're right. In my email, out of 20 emails, 10 of them had sales, 30% off, 25% off, 50% off, 70% off, right? I'm like, holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
How are people not price sensitive? This is why people are price sensitive, I think.
That's true.
So they're always expecting discounts. We're just as bad business or good business or whatever. We're constantly barraging them with these discount things. And I think that's why they're price sensitive.
That's true.
It's unfortunate, but I think in the long run, if you can figure out a good way to educate quickly and efficiently, then you can get past that a little bit. It's a challenge regardless, because people's attention spans are really short, especially on social media. Anything over a 2-minute video is probably you're moved on to the next thing, unless it's really engaging, right?
That's true.
So I don't know. I mean, it's challenge in general. I think that's good. I'm glad you brought that up, because I hear that a lot with that. What advice would you give couples today if you were going to give them one piece of advice about looking for a videographer?
I would say definitely, like, if you're looking for a videographer or any vendor in that sort, just really checking the company's background. I would say look for reviews. Just here in this area, I know we've had a few people that have been, I guess, shafted, or like they pay their deposit, or they sign their contract, they pay their final balance, and the day of their wedding comes, no videographer shows up. And so I would just say, definitely check, the resources and reviews, just make sure they're there. From a videographer standpoint, just look at, I guess, find something that really relates to you as a couple in a video that you're looking for, something that resonates with you all, that maybe something that you all want to have, and then, speak with the company to see if they can offer you something or create a video that matches your story and it's able to be personalized to you. Another thing I would say, just definitely be careful with, there are some companies that have more of like a cookie cutter approach, similar to like the McDonald's in the wedding industry. So like every video has the same cuts, every video looks the same, but really just look and see, is this video right here different from this other video that this company did? Or are they all do they all have like a cookie cutter approach?
That's good advice. So let's talk about the business side. What advice would you give young people trying to get into this business that want to do it?
I would say keep learning and don't. If someone says that you need, the $6,000 or $7,000 camera, don't go with those that advice. iPhones, for instance, have a camera that you could possibly use. I mean, you may not want to show up to a wedding day with it, but
Right.
just to get started, you could possibly use that. But limit yourself to the amount that you spend at first as you're first starting, and don't buy the unnecessary stuff. You'll see a lot of people say that you need gimbals and all types of equipment, but just do your research, check just to be sure that it makes sense for you to get, because over time you'll be able to progressively get the newer equipment and additional equipment. But just starting out, definitely kind of keep just don't spend excess cash on things that you don't need at the time.
It makes sense. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, iPhones today, man, they're pretty good cameras, right? Even some of the new Android devices have really good cameras in them.
That's true.
So I mean, just start there, right? Just start filmmaking, learn your craft, and start doing it that way. And then as you advance and grow, you have to spend money on your craft regardless, right? You have to buy equipment. You have to learn the skills. You have to invest the time, right?
Yes.
There's no way around it. There's absolutely no way around. I like to refer to sometimes like as a guitar player. It takes a long time to actually train your fingers how to do certain things. And so if you're going to play like fast leads or whatever, you have to put the time in to learn how to condition your fingers. You have to listen to the sounds. You have to be able to, it's the same with any craft. You have to spend the time and that's great. Yeah. That's good. I mean, you're right. People are probably out looking at, hey, I got to buy this $5,000 camera because that's the way to go.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just like you said, time. Over time, like the great athletes don't become great right at as soon as they're born. Like it takes time. You don't see all the hours that go into like in the gym or in practice and on the field. But once they're a star, then you get to recognize them. So becoming a star, it takes time just to get there. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that have certain skills that you can tell they have talent, but they still have to train and condition that talent to make it better and better and better, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So last question, what's your best or worst wedding or business story you got for me?
So I would say the worst story. So just I won't say names or anything, but
that's cool.
One wedding, we had last year. There were drinks and everything involved, and end of the night exit. The day went totally awesome. And sometimes if some things are too good or like perfect, like something is bound to happen. Wedding was awesome. We were at the exit, and then like you just see the groom about to punch. I thought it was their best friend.
Wow.
But it ended up turning into a fight. But my team and we actually were able to get into the middle and just kind of break it up. So I guess it could have ended bad, but we were in there and we made sure it didn't happen. We actually separated them and took the room back inside.
Yeah.
And it was just that could have been terrible. So what made me actually start taking additional camera equipment to weddings. So there was a wedding we had, I want to say it was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And camera worked before the wedding, camera worked after the wedding. But for some reason, during the wedding, we could not get it to record.
What?
So that was a pretty bad experience for me. But we were able to edit it where the couple couldn't really tell that one view was missing. That's one of the strong things about bringing multiple cameras. At that time, I think we only took 4 cameras to weddings with a 3-camera setup, I want to say.
Yeah.
But you just learn over time what you need to do. And that from that moment forward, I said we'll at least take one additional camera to wedding.
Just in case, right?
Yes,
I'm
we
sure
have
you got backup cables and all kinds of stuff now, right?
backup audio gear for because we usually plug into the soundboard of
Hmm.
um, DJs and bands. So we have every single cable that you could possibly think of. Just to be able to plug into their system, because it used to be like, well, I don't have an extra cord. That's what the band would say. So I said, okay, we'll just buy all the cords that it could possibly be, and then instead of saying
Hmm.
you don't have a cord, okay, we have one, here you go.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah,
works.
exactly. Yeah, cool. Justin, thanks so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, thanks for checking out this episode. I hope that you found it helpful. Please share it with other people. Also, if you're getting married or you work in the wedding industry, I would love to interview and share your information with other people. Send me a text 520-399-8580 or shoot me an email at letschat@wedding.report.